Hey, crypto media friends, welcome to the Overtime Show. Late on Thursday, November 11th. Actually, just came from a nice screening of King Richard. Go see that movie. Really fantastic film. And it was nice to get a nice meet and greet with Will Smith after. And Will had a really great thing to say. He's such a he really pushes that mode of inspirational speaker. Anytime he's like speaking publicly, I feel, and really just sweet, nice guy. But he wants to bring the motivation, and so he's like ideas and dreams are like a match, and in the wind, and so you want to surround yourself with good people to protect that match against the wind. I thought it was a beautiful, symbol, and sometimes that the friends and family you do bring together around that match, bring kerosene and explosives and firecrackers, but that's, I guess, what families do. So happy birthday to my brother, my little baby brother. I can say that because his birthday is not in any of my passwords, and so I have no fear of wishing him a happy birthday. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you love your family. If you don't love your family, and that's okay too. Hit the notification anyway, because I bring this stuff to you live because it's cogent, it's in the moment, and it's about the now. And so right now, I wanted to talk about, as we're sitting in this bear market for, I just hate saying it. In this bear market with NFTs, watching AltCoins explode. I try and cover all things sort of metaverse, NFT from the creator's perspective. Somehow enabling us with the tools to create, and I think that when we have projects, it's nice to see some of the projects working towards value and utility. I see there's so many great projects probably just waiting to enter, because I'll tell you, I'm looking at the list of upcoming projects. I have nothing to report. I have nothing to talk about because they're all kind of crap. All the ones that know they want to be super successful know that this is a horrible time to jump into the fray. There are a lot of great art blocks coming in. Don't sleep on art blocks. It's there's just so many great ones coming in because of that system of of approvals and curation that they have. And so that's just kind of just being rolled out now. So, projects that thought they were going to run for 8 ETH are now running for 0.2. So a lot of great value there, and a lot of great value being generated based upon the ideas of projects. And I think that Roaring Leaders is one of those. Along with HeadDao, they have this idea of a decentralized mutual fund in a sense, kind of. They're still working out the kinks of this idea of decentralized, but essentially they can hold assets as a DAO, and in this case NFTs. Now, if those NFTs are on sale, that could potentially be an interesting project that's accumulating these NFTs on sale currently. And so Roaring Leaders is doing that. In fact, they sold a CryptoKitty, bought it for not CryptoKitty, I'm like lost in 2017 right now, a Cool Cat. And they bought the same Cool Cat back for 50% off from paper hands that were just like freaking out in the marketplace. No FUD on paper hands in this marketplace because it's a scary place right now. But those are the types of opportunities that are available for these deeper pockets, in a sense, because these are like beyond whales. These are like I was just kind of imagining how much money Nouns DAO has right now. It really is absurd. They must be nearing $100 million. Honestly, I can't imagine it with the rise in ETH and how much they're selling per. It's a very interesting fun. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that money. But so Roaring Leaders, a little less than them, probably, very likely, absolutely. And but they're leveraging what they have, and what they have is understanding the marketplace and their accumulation of it. And also they've been gamifying a lot along the way. And so obviously one of the things that we all want are we want tokens out of our NFTs at this point. And so you do so by staking. And so I just want to quickly go over as a general example how easy projects can make staking, and they want to make it super easy for you. They want to make it a website. You go, you push a button, your thing is off the market, off your wallet, which is a little scary, but also off the market. And that's the important part of raising the floor. And that's what that does essentially, is when you have members stake, they're going to earn some coins, which give them utility within your project. But it also takes them off the marketplace. And we'll take a look at Roaring Leaders and how that's affected their floor price, the all important floor price. So as simple as, going to the website, if you obviously you have to be a member of this, and so if you're a member of the one you're staking to, you have one in your wallet already, you connect your MetaMask, click there, and I'm connected, and so here you have 36% staked. I think this is over about 2 or 3 days now. And then you see the ones that I have. This is actually a kind of a nice version of a staking one. It's very visual, which is nice. Some can be very, very bare bones, and that's okay, because it's just all about understanding, like, hey, this is what you stake. I think here they actually have to have some additional visual functionality to say, like, oh, here's how to unstake, and here's actually the coin accumulation. Because here you're earning 10 ROAR coins, or ROAR tokens, per day. And so I was just like, look, $37 gas, done, right? it's like, oh, let's just casually look at it. No, we're going to make that transaction happen ASAP, because that was $37. I haven't had one that cheap. I had it $35, like maybe 5-6 days ago, and I thought that was miraculous, because every other time I'm on here, it's $200. And gas fees. So let's stake, but maybe that's a cheaper thing. That's the thing. Different transactions have different fees. So maybe this stake is much simpler as a transaction, and a bit cheaper than an actual mint, which is seemingly there's the top range of a trade. And so let's go to OpenSea. That was a beautiful project, by the way. It's a very nice one. Art Blocks Factory, don't sleep on them. Bob Block Rorschach. I somehow got into the one project that did sell out, and so by a great artist who actually was the artist for the Nouns DAO. So I have my Roaring Leaders. They're sitting in there. I assume they'll disappear soon. It's weird. It's nice. I was getting an offer there. Offers typically, as you can see, are 33% below the floor. They're usually about a third of value, but I think they're getting slimmer and slimmer in the bear market, the margins for these day traders. But obviously, when you get those, we love those emails, right, from OpenSeas. Come on, if you love the emails from OpenSeas, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, because you're my people. You get these emails, and you're just like, oh, hey, somebody wants my NFT. It's a nice feeling, but also alerts you of activity. So obviously, once somebody did that, it reminded me. I'm like, oh, why do they want to buy it? It's because you're able to stake now. Holy crap, I totally forgot, because I missed it by like 3 days. So it's affected the floor price considerably, as you can see there from the map. They've also instituted simultaneously, which is, I think, nice, and going strong to the whole, guys. Mad respect. Breeding. So giving two areas of utility at the same time, two very powerful tools of utility at the same time. And here's the cool part about this project is only about 7%, 6% here are female. And so if you're doing breeding, you have caused a high valuation for the females of your NFT species, and which is fantastic. So now there's more collectability given to these very nice looking female Roaring Leaders, which wasn't the case, honestly. And let's be very, very crucially honest with ourselves socially, guys. 99.9% of you guys are guys, sadly. Not sadly, but it's just like, that's just sort of the who's in NFTs right now. And I think that's tragic. There's more and more girls. There's more and more like cool, like, female DAOs and female projects. But for the most part, watching this channel, watching most channels, are male driven, and so the values of, you can see it reflected in the values of these NFTs. And so these female NFTs were actually very, very undervalued at the time, going for much cheaper than the guys, until everyone figured out, oh, breeding. Oh wait, there's such scarcity. There's only 6-7% of the collection is female. Well, we need to collect those in order to do the breeding. And so, because you have both of these going on at the same time, I think you have a great result here. And the great result is 887 current outstanding, which is about 10% of the collection outstanding for sale. Now that varies, because sometimes it's sometimes a tricky number to see. A lot of people like to look at that number as a quick sort of reference, because when you do see a project pumping, you're going to see that number pretty low. You're going to see like when Bears Deluxe was pumping, that number was about 400, maybe even sometimes like 500, 400 when it was really pumping, because everyone in the Discord was like, hold. And it's a way for, again, internally, we talk about this a lot on the channel, through those Discords, they're price manipulating. And sometimes it's tough to see that. That's why you got to jump in those Discords and see what the price raise is about. And if you ape in, it might be because just those holders of that project are working together to manipulate the price. And so that can be really crappy at times, because then they can just dump once they reach a certain level. And I felt that a bit with Bears Deluxe, to be honest. It rose to a certain level, and then, all those people who are holding are trying to sell now at 4 or 5 ETH. And so, but I don't suspect that here. Now, I mean, it happens everywhere, but here the rise is a bit natural, based upon utility, based upon the idea that, hey, I can make, and hopefully we are currently making about 20 for me, 10 Roar each, in terms of accumulation of the Roar token, and once we have that sort of as utility, and that's creating a lot of them to come off the market, that leaves scarcity within the marketplace to then have to play a breeding game. If you wanted to partake and try and make some money that way, or again, Roar coin that way, they do have an LP, a liquidity pool that allows for ETH. I'm not sure where it is yet. I have yet to find that. Typically, it's on SushiSwap. To create an LP, seemingly easy to create an LP on SushiSwap for NFTs, as we saw with HeadDao. But it'll be interesting to just sort of track, and I'll give some updates as to how this is going. And the just again the passive income concepts for these projects. I think having it based upon the fact that they own these NFTs, and we all own together, in a sense, these NFTs as a quasi mutual fund, it gives a bedrock to the value, I think. So beyond just utility of making it fun, here they do have actual value, unlike some of these other honestly, these other NFTs, I'm just like, they're cool. Like, there's like some really nice ones, not super nice ones, but like nice ones that are coming out with some nice art. And potentially a game that maybe they're going to try and do in the sandbox. Again, this is why I really try and fight for you guys to find projects that are working hard for our hard-earned ETH to honestly to make us rich monetarily, make us rich in terms of our engagement with the metaverse, make us rich in terms of our engagement with each other and fulfilling as a community. And so I think Roaring Leaders still is kind of checking a lot of those boxes for me, and they're working really hard, even though they're in a bear market, being very responsive. They were actually going to do a mint, and I've been talking about this on the show too. I'm just like these sort of mints of assistance and of the Bored Ape Kennel Club paradigm is just like, oh, we should do that. Well, nowadays it sucks to do that, because even though you're trying to mint at 0.05, which is considerable, a couple $100 now, but it's like, oh, maybe I could afford that. But once you try and mint it, as we were talking about, with the gas fees, with the complexity of that transaction, that's another $200 you have to throw on top of that value. So at this point, some of these projects I've been passing, because it seems like torture at this point to mint something that's going to be worth way less, for a while. And so unless I really see the value, there are some coming up, and I'll talk about them. Hopefully, maybe I'll have a guest maybe next week from one of the great projects that you see popping up in the opening here. But until then, hope you guys have a great extended weekend. Thank you, veterans, for all those who serve. Happy Veterans Day.